all of you all that are going to go home and write a biography on how wrong this is, you guys can kick rocks. What's up, fam? Candace Parker here. I'm going to do a tier ranking of WNBA players. I'm going to try. Then you got Angel Reese. I put her right at that C level.
Candace Parker just sent shockwaves through the WNBA after labeling Angel Reese a C-tier player. The reaction was instant. Fans erupted, accusing her of jealousy, betrayal, and demanding she walk it back. But Parker didn't hesitate. She stood firm and pointed to a reality many refuse to acknowledge. Those heavily praised double-doubles aren't translating into wins. Yes, Reese is putting up numbers, but the losses are piling up just as quickly. And when you actually examine the data, the picture gets even worse. Parker highlighted what much of the media has conveniently ignored. When Reese is on the floor, turnovers rise, ball movement stalls, spacing collapses, and the game descends into disorder. That's not dominance. That's not leadership. And it certainly isn't greatness. Despite ongoing efforts to manufacture a Reese versus Clark rivalry, the contrast couldn't be clearer. One player is lifting her entire franchise, shattering records, engineering comebacks, and injecting life into the league. The other is struggling with routine passes, missing easy finishes, and ending nights in lopsided defeats. Now that Candace Parker has said the quiet part out loud, there's no shoving the truth back into the shadows. This wasn't a reckless take, it was a reality check. And the WNBA faces a defining question. Will it continue to chase hype, or will it finally start rewarding real impact?
How many times have I said Angel Reese is not an impact player? I mean, she definitely has an impact on losing, but Angel Reese has absolutely no effect on winning. If you don't believe me, go ask Teresa Weatherspoon or ask her current head coach Tyler Marsh, who will soon be joining Teresa in the food stamp line, hoping to get enough Ethiopian breadcrumbs to make it through the winter. Or ask Candace Parker.
I think in terms of being above, you have to be able to have the ability to carry a team, be a 1 or 2 option. I think Angel Reese is fantastic at her role, which is offensive rebounding. She showed and demonstrated so much growth in that first year. I think that this is my tier.
Parker was blunt about why Reese landed where she did. To earn a higher ranking, she said, a player has to be capable of carrying a team, someone who can serve as a true first or second option. While she acknowledged Reese's strength on the offensive glass, Parker made one thing unmistakably clear. Reese operates as a role player, not as the centerpiece of a championship contender. The controversy began with a simple video. Candace Parker, 7-time All-Star, 2-time MVP, and one of the most respected voices in women's basketball, sat down to rank current WNBA players by tier. When she placed Angel Reese in the C tier, alongside injured rookies and unproven role players, Reese's fanbase erupted. But this wasn't a random or provocative choice. Parker carefully explained her reasoning. Rising up the tiers requires the ability to drive winning, to be the engine of an offense, to elevate everyone around you. Despite the headlines and highlight stats, Reese doesn't fill that role. She rebounds aggressively, yes, but she isn't creating offense, orchestrating plays, or making her teammates better. She isn't the force behind victories. Parker stressed that role players absolutely matter, but they don't belong in the same conversation as true game changers like Aya Wilson, Breanna Stewart, or even Caitlin Clark, who, as a rookie, is already reshaping her franchise. In the end, Parker didn't rank Reese out of bitterness or bias. She ranked her based on basketball reality.
Angel Wilson, reigning MVP, couple Defensive Player of the Years, 2 championships. If there was something higher than S, I would definitely put her up there. But Nafisa Collier, she's up there with top tier with Asia. Just her ability to play on both sides of the ball, pump fake, she's going to make you choose wrong. I know you guys are going to say I'm biased because I'm putting all 4s at the S, but the 4s run the league. Don't ever forget that. Breanna Stewart, the versatility, reigning champion from last year. She's got 3 of them things. I don't think there's any debate with that.
The reaction was immediate and explosive. Reese's fans swarmed social media, hurling insults at Parker, branding her a hater and accusing her of disrespect, as if stating the obvious had somehow crossed a line.
Uh-oh, Candace Parker. You've upset the Reese's Pieces and they're not happy about it. They're gonna be coming after you any second. Oh, they're already coming after you. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Candace Parker asked to put certain players in a tier list. You have the S tier, you have the A tier, you have the B tier, and you have the C tier. And where Candace Parker put Angel Reese on this list and her explanation about it, it has upset a large number of the Reese's Pieces delegation.
The moment the tier list went public, Angel Reese's fanbase erupted. Social media was flooded with attacks on Candace Parker. Accusations of jealousy, claims she was tearing down another black woman, allegations that she was out of touch or bitter. But Parker never flinched. While Twitter spiraled and Instagram filled up with snake emojis and cherry-picked stats, Parker calmly addressed the backlash on the Good Follow podcast. She made it clear there was no hatred behind her words. She said she respected Angel Reese as a person, admired her work ethic, and valued her hustle, but emphasized that her ranking had nothing to do with feelings and everything to do with basketball. That's where the outrage backfired. Many expected Parker to cave under the pressure. Instead, she stood firmer, delivering a composed, direct, and unapologetically honest explanation of why Reese doesn't belong in the same tier as players capable of leading entire franchises. As she continued speaking, the noise started to fade and the message began to land, because this wasn't manufactured drama, it was analysis. Parker stressed that her comments were rooted in leadership, impact, and on-court responsibility, not personal attacks. And with every point she made, the facts became harder to dismiss, even for Reese's most devoted supporters.
Where it gets tricky. Caitlin Clark is at an A level. I think in time she's going to raise up to that S, but in order to put her at that level, she's got to have a couple more years. So I'll put Kelsey Plum at the A level. Two-time champ, now took on the challenge to be number one option in LA. I would say KP is definitely in that tier. I would love to put Sabrina Ionescu in that A range. She got that elusive championship. She's one of the best shooters in the WNBA, if not the best shooter in the WNBA.
Chicago Sky, y'all stink, bro. Y'all, look, there's trash and then there's trash. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, the Chicago Sky got destroyed by the stud buds. Everybody watches the stud buds. Shout out to Courtney Williams and Tisha Eiderman, man. Listen, stud buds stood on business today. Nafisa Collier stood on business today. They destroyed the Chicago Sky.
Reese landed in the C tier not because she's terrible, but because her impact stops at offensive rebounding. Candace Parker made it clear that highlight putbacks and tough guy moments don't equal greatness. Winning does. And despite the noise, Reese hasn't been helping her team win. Once Parker said it out loud, the illusion cracked. Analysts and fans started digging into the numbers and found the same pattern: double-doubles that don't translate to victories. The Sky kept losing, often by double digits, with poor spacing, constant turnovers, and broken possessions. The stats looked impressive, but the impact was hollow. The turning point came against Minnesota, when Reese had 9 turnovers on national TV. Not from elite defense, but from sloppy decisions and basic mistakes. That game gave the league a blueprint. Teams began forcing the ball into her hands, and she unraveled. What casual fans cheered, coaches exploited. The truth became unavoidable. Chicago often looks better when Reese plays fewer minutes. The ball moves, the offense flows, and the team actually wins. Meanwhile, the league kept pushing a manufactured rivalry, but only one player, Caitlin Clark, was truly elevating her franchise. Parker's ranking wasn't hate. It was reality. Reese isn't a franchise player. She's a role player elevated by hype, branding, and empty stats. And once the pressure rises, hype fades. Only real impact survives.